Hello everyone, welcome to your second class of healthy baking. Today we're going to be making some pumpkin spice scones. I recommend today you bring your apron because it's going to get a little messy. So here in the bowl we've got 17 ounces of flour. In this little cup I have some salt, sugar, baking soda, and baking powder. And then in the center is some pumpkin pie spice. I have a blend that looks like that. You can find it in your store, or you can make your own blend of pumpkin spice. So we're just going to toss that into the bowl with the flour. Give it a little mix. And now I have 5 ounces of cold butter. I just pulled it out of the fridge and cubed it up. You want sizes about that big, where it just helps blend it up a little bit quicker. Just gonna drop that in there. We're gonna mix this on a low speed for a couple minutes until the butter starts breaking down to about pea-sized balls. So I've had the flour and the butter mixing for about 3 minutes. If you can see, they'll break down to be about this size compared to what they were before. If you don't have a mixer, that's totally fine. You can go in there either with a hand blender, or you can just like pinch the flour into the butter until they get down to pea-sized. Either way you do it is totally fine. You just want to check through your flour and make sure all of the larger pieces are broken down a bit. And we are looking good. So we're going to move on to the wet mixture. So we have a 1.5 cups of buttermilk. I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of pumpkin puree. And 2 eggs. Also gonna add a teaspoon of vanilla just for a little extra flavor. And then we'll give that a good whisk together. Alright, so we have our mixture of buttermilk and egg, and we also have our flour. We're going to create a little well inside of the flour and just add all of our wet mixture. Scrape out everything. So what we're going to do now is just take the flour from the outside and kind of fold it into the egg mixture. It's still going to look very wet, but we're going to roll it out with some more flour on the table so it'll come together a little bit more then. Alright, so we are on to the last process, which is the rolling and folding. So this is what our mixture looks like. We are just going to put a heavy coating of flour down on the counter. So you really don't want this to stick. then we're just gonna dump all of it out. All right, have it all down. We're gonna give it another bit of flour on top. We're gonna press it down as well as you can into a square. All right, so here we are on the rolling stage. Just gonna lightly roll it long ways. Fix up your corners a little bit. And then you're gonna lift, fold it like an envelope. All right, dust with a little more flour. Throw some underneath if you need to. Then we are gonna roll it out again. And you're gonna do this process 2 more times. So we're gonna fold it again like an envelope. It's pretty soft, so if it breaks apart, that's okay. Just kind of put it back together. Fold it, turn it this time. All right, keep on rolling. Fold it again, and this will be our last time, and then we're gonna roll it out and then cut it. I have one of these, it's called a bench scrape. It helps really well to get under and lift if it's sticking to the table. And then you should just be able to lift it up and toss some flour under there. All right, just give this gentle roll, not too thin, because now we're gonna cut it up, make it into our scones. So now that we have the finished dough, we're gonna cut it up into our pieces. We're going to coat it with some heavy cream and then add a little bit of sugar on top just for some crunch. So normally scones are shaped in a triangle, but today I'm just gonna do them in squares because it makes it a lot easier for you guys at home. So we are going to cut it into thirds. You can do this with a pizza roller as well. It's a lot easier. I just have my bench knife handy, so I'm gonna do it with that. All right, so as even as you can get it into 3 rows here, and then we're gonna cut it into 4s. Then half. These are a little big. We'll just do some mini ones. Here we go. All right, so you're gonna take your pan. You're gonna gently lift the scone up, just drop it on your pan. These will spread a tiny bit, but you can still bake them pretty close together. It'll be okay. Okay, so we have all of our biscuits panned up. We're just gonna brush them with some heavy cream and then top them off. I'm using sugar in the raw because it's a little coarser, gives you a little more crunch, but you could use whatever you want. So we'll just give them a nice thick layer of cream right on top. And then sprinkle a little bit of this coarse sugar on it. So we have our biscuits. They are all done up with heavy cream and a little bit of that sugar. We're gonna pop them in the oven at 350 for about 12 to 15 minutes. Just until they're nice and golden all over. You can tell when they're done when you lift them and the entire bottom is nice and golden but not burned. So we are back and this is our finished product. As you can see, it's nice and crispy on top, not too much color on the bottom. This would go great with like cream cheese dressing or maybe a coffee on the side. But that is all for today, and I will see you guys next time.